Welcome to my channel Old Valuable Coins. This long video about the top valuable state quarter coin from the United States that could be worth millions of dollars today. Many collectors search for rare state quarters, but one of the most famous is the 2004 Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf error, known as the extra high leaf and extra low leaf. This rare mint mistake makes the coin extremely valuable, especially in beautiful condition. Other rare state quarters include the 1999 Delaware Spitting Horse and the 2005 Minnesota Extra Tree Double design. Always check your change because you might be holding a rare state quarter worth a fortune. First up, the 2001 North Carolina State Quarter was issued to celebrate the very first powered flight by the Wright brothers in 1903 at Kitty Hawk. The design features the historic moment when the Wright flyer lifted off the ground with Orville Wright aboard and Wilbur Wright running beside the aircraft. This powerful image makes the coin instantly recognizable and symbolic of American innovation and progress. The obverse still features the familiar portrait of George Washington, which remained consistent throughout the series. This quarter was released as the 12th coin in the state quarter program, which ran from 1999 to 2008 and became the most successful coin program in U.S. history. Millions of people began collecting quarters for the first time, making coins like the North Carolina 2001 quarter a major part of modern numismatic interest. Because of high public demand, this coin was produced in very large quantities, but rare varieties and condition differences can create surprising value. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins, marked with the letter P, while the Denver Mint produced a similar number marked with AD. Both mint marks can be found in circulation, but extremely high-quality examples, especially those with strong strikes and minimal wear, are harder to locate today. Although most circulated examples are worth face value, certain rare conditions and error strikes can make this coin worth far more to collectors. Many people are unaware that some North Carolina 2001 quarters have sold for impressive amounts due to rare minting mistakes. These errors occurred during the production process and created unusual features that collectors are willing to pay a premium for. One of the most desirable error types includes off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted to one side. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date remains fully visible. Another rare and valuable error is the broad strike example, where the coin was struck without the protective collar that shapes its edge. These coins appear wider and flatter than normal and can command high prices among collectors who specialize in error coinage. There are also double die varieties reported for this coin, where parts of the design may appear doubled, especially in the lettering or the image of the plane. These doubling effects can increase collector interest and value, particularly when easily visible without magnification. In addition to errors, the condition of the coin plays a major role in its value. Coins that were never circulated, showing no wear and retaining their original luster, are far more desirable. Sharp details in the Wright flyer design, clear lettering, and a smooth, unmarked surface increase the appeal to collectors. Coins kept in protective storage since release are becoming harder to find, as most examples entered circulation immediately after production. Even though this coin was produced in large numbers, finding a perfectly preserved example today can be challenging. Many coins show scratches, wear, discoloration, and contact marks from circulation. This is why collectors are willing to pay more for coins that look nearly flawless. Full detail on the wings of the Wright flyer, clean fields without marks, and strong strike quality make a big difference. Another aspect that increases value is the metal composition. Although this quarter is made from a copper-nickel clad composition rather than silver, beautifully preserved examples still attract attention. Some collectors assemble full state quarter sets in the best condition possible, increasing demand for pristine North Carolina examples. The coin also exists in special collector versions originally sold in mint packaging, which were carefully handled and stored. The historical importance of the design adds to the popularity of this coin. The Wright brothers' first flight remains one of the most iconic achievements in American history. The image on the coin captures the exact moment aviation began, changing the world forever. The phrase "first flight" at the bottom of the coin reinforces this powerful legacy. For many people, this coin represents national pride and technological advancement. Collectors often search through pocket change, coin rolls, and old collections hoping to find a valuable North Carolina quarter. Checking for strong strikes, sharp details, and potential errors is an exciting part of the hobby. Even though most examples are common, the thrill of discovering a rare variety keeps collectors engaged. Another factor influencing value is demand from people who focus specifically on aviation history or North Carolina-themed collectibles. This wider audience increases interest beyond traditional coin collectors, giving the coin additional appeal. Coins connected to famous historical events often gain value over time because they attract multiple types of collectors. Many viewers may be wondering whether their North Carolina quarter could be worth a significant amount of money. The answer depends on several key factors such as condition, rarity of any errors, and overall desirability. Circulated coins with heavy wear typically remain worth face value, but coins with unusual features or those preserved in exceptional condition have much higher potential. Some rare examples have reportedly sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars when they feature dramatic minting mistakes or outstanding condition. These high-value sales continue to create excitement among collectors searching for hidden treasures in everyday change. The possibility that an ordinary-looking coin could be worth far more keeps this hobby thriving. If you have a North Carolina 2001 quarter, carefully examine it under good lighting. Look for design doubling, missing details, misaligned strikes, unusually large size, or strange edges. Compare the overall sharpness of the design to other quarters. A well-defined coin with strong details stands out quickly. Another important feature to look at is the mint mark. Some collectors prefer one mint over the other due to rarity in high-grade condition. Even subtle differences in strike quality can influence value. Coins with original shine and minimal marks remain the most desirable, especially when collectors are building premium sets. This coin also played a major role in introducing millions of new collectors to the numismatic world. The state quarter program sparked widespread interest, and many people still enjoy collecting these coins today. The North Carolina design remains one of the most visually appealing and historically meaningful entries in the series. For long-term collectors, holding on to high-quality state quarters may prove rewarding. Popular designs tend to retain strong interest, and as supplies of pristine coins decrease, demand can rise. The key is condition and rarity, especially when errors are involved. As more time passes, circulation wear will continue to reduce the number of high-quality North Carolina 2001 quarters available. Coins stored safely since release will become increasingly scarce. This natural reduction in supply can help increase value among collectors seeking top examples. Whether you collect for investment, historical interest, or personal enjoyment, the North Carolina State Quarter remains an important part of modern U.S. coinage. Its connection to aviation history, striking design, and potential hidden value make it a favorite among collectors. Next up, the Connecticut State Quarter was released on October 12, 1999, as the fifth coin in the United States 50 State Quarters program. This program ran from 1999 to 2008 and became one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. history, sparking a massive interest in coin collecting. Millions of people began checking their change every day looking for new state quarters, and the Connecticut Quarter stands out as one of the most recognizable designs in the entire series. The design features the famous charter oak tree, a legendary symbol in Connecticut history. According to tradition, in 1687, the Connecticut Charter was hidden in the hollow of the oak tree to prevent British authorities from seizing it. The tree became a symbol of freedom and independence, and its inclusion on the 1999 quarter makes this coin not only visually striking but also historically meaningful. The reverse of the coin shows the sprawling branches of the charter oak with incredible detail, alongside the inscriptions Connecticut, 1788, the year the state joined the Union, and the charter oak. On the obverse side, the quarter features the profile of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This familiar design was created by John Flanagan and has been used on U.S. quarters for decades, although the 1999 version was modified slightly for the State Quarters program. The inscriptions include United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and Quarter Dollar. The mint mark, when present, appears to the right of Washington's ponytail. For 1999 Connecticut quarters, the mint marks you may find include P for Philadelphia and D for Denver, along with S for San Francisco on special collector issues. In terms of production numbers, this coin was minted in huge quantities. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Connecticut quarters, and the Denver Mint also produced a massive quantity. Because so many of these coins entered circulation, most examples today are common and worth their face value of 25 cents. However, not all Connecticut quarters are the same, and certain rare varieties and error examples can be worth far more. Some collectors search for specific traits that can increase value significantly, especially if the coin has remained in excellent condition with sharp details and minimal wear. One key factor that can impact the value of a Connecticut quarter is how well preserved it is. A coin that has circulated heavily and shows worn details usually has very little added value. In contrast, A Connecticut quarter that still displays crisp lines and strong luster, with no major scratches or damage, can be much more desirable. Collectors especially appreciate examples that appear nearly untouched since they were minted, with clear lettering, clean surfaces, and fully visible details in the branches of the charter oak tree. Another important element to watch for is mint errors. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process, resulting in a coin that looks different from what was intended. These mistakes can make a coin rare and collectible. Some of the most interesting and valuable Connecticut quarter errors include off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably toward one side, leaving a blank area on the coin. Another rare type is a double strike, where the coin receives two impressions instead of one, creating a doubled or shadowed look. There are also struck-through errors, where foreign material such as grease or debris interferes with the strike and leaves unusual markings or missing details. One of the most famous Connecticut quarter varieties is the extra tree branch or double tree appearance caused by die deterioration or die polishing issues. On these examples, the branches appear thicker, doubled, or show unusual raised lines that do not belong to the original design. Collectors often search for these coins, and they can command strong interest depending on how dramatic the effect appears. Another variety that can increase value involves strong die cracks. A die crack occurs when the die used to strike the coin develops a fracture, transferring raised lines onto the coin surface. Some Connecticut quarters show visible raised lines along the tree branches or near the rim, making them distinct and collectible. There are also special proof versions of the Connecticut quarter produced for collectors. These coins feature mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Proof examples, especially those made from silver, can be more desirable, particularly when they remain in pristine condition. Proof coins do not normally circulate, so they are often found in collections or sets. If you come across a Connecticut quarter that has a highly reflective finish and exceptional detail, it may be a proof coin and could be worth more than regular circulation strikes. When examining a Connecticut state quarter from 1999, take time to look closely at the tree branches, the rim, the lettering, and the mint mark area. Small differences that might seem insignificant can actually make a major difference in value. Many valuable coins have been discovered simply because someone took the time to inspect a coin carefully. Even minor minting issues can draw attention among collectors who appreciate unique characteristics. Another factor that influences value is demand. The Connecticut quarter remains popular because of its detailed artwork and the history behind the charter oak. It is frequently included in collections focused on the state quarters program, state history themes, or coins with tree designs. Many people who grew up collecting state quarters continue to build their collections today, helping maintain interest in this coin. While most Connecticut quarters will be worth face value, it is always exciting to check for rare varieties and errors. Some examples have sold for much more, especially those with dramatic striking mistakes or exceptionally well-preserved surfaces. The thrill of discovering a rare coin in everyday change continues to attract new collectors and keeps this hobby lively and enjoyable. If you have a 1999 Connecticut state quarter, take the opportunity to examine it carefully. Look at the branches, look for unusual raised lines, examine the mint mark, check for off-center strikes, and evaluate the overall condition. You never know when you might have a valuable example hiding among ordinary coins. Many collectors have stories of finding surprising treasures simply because they paid attention to the details. Next up, Drummer Boy Quarter was released in 1975 and 1976 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the founding of the United States. Instead of using the standard eagle reverse that appeared on Washington quarters from 1932 to 1998, the United States Mint introduced a special design featuring a colonial drummer, often called the Drummer Boy, accompanied by a victory torch surrounded by 13 stars. The design was created by Jack L.R., making it one of the most recognizable and iconic commemorative circulating coins ever released in the US. One interesting fact about the Drummer Boy Quarter is that although the coin reads 1776 to 1976, there were no quarters minted with the dates 1975. Every quarter produced in 1975 and 1976 carried the dual date 1776 to 1976, making them unique among circulating US coins. This detail adds to their historical significance and collector appeal. Now let's talk about the mints that produced these quarters. They were struck at 3 different United States mint facilities: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark. Most bicentennial quarters you find in circulation will be from Philadelphia or Denver, and those are common. However, coins from San Francisco can be much more desirable, especially the 40% silver versions that were released in special sets and not intended for everyday circulation. Yes, some Drummer Boy quarters were actually minted in silver. The San Francisco Mint produced both clad-proof coins and 40% silver coins. If you find a bicentennial quarter with an S-Mint mark, you may have a valuable coin, especially if it's a silver version. These silver quarters have a different ring when dropped, different weight, and a visible difference on the coin edge where the copper core is not present. Collectors often search for certain rare errors and varieties that can make these coins worth far more than face value. Some of the most desirable include doubled die obverse varieties, where the date, lettering, or the word Liberty shows doubling under magnification. There are also doubled die reverse varieties where the drum details, stars, or lettering appear doubled. These coins can be significantly more valuable because they were the result of die issues during production. Another valuable type includes off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the blank coin was not aligned correctly during the strike. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more collectible the coin can be. A 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarter with a major off-center error can bring strong value among collectors. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a curved section of the coin is missing due to the blank being cut improperly. Broad strike coins, struck without the collar that normally shapes the rim, can also be valuable. Coins struck on the wrong planchet, such as on a copper penny blank or a dime-size planchet, are extremely rare and can reach very high values. But even without errors, certain coins command more attention. Sharp strike detail, strong luster, and clean surfaces can make a bicentennial quarter far more desirable to collectors. Coins that were preserved carefully and kept in perfect condition stand out from the millions that circulated heavily for decades. The Drummer Boy quarter remains one of the most nostalgic and beloved coins in American numismatics. Nearly every collector begins with these because they were so widely saved. Many households kept them as souvenirs of the bicentennial celebration, a time of national pride and major historical recognition. The story behind the design gives this coin emotional and historical depth. The drummer symbolizes the spirit of the American Revolution, young patriots, and the energy that helped shape a new nation. The torch and stars represent victory and unity among the 13 original colonies. Even today, millions of people search through their change hoping to find a valuable Drummer Boy quarter. Social media and news stories frequently highlight rare finds, encouraging more people to check their pocket change, coin jars, and family collections. Collectors especially look for San Francisco silver coins, proof strikes, and high-quality examples that have been preserved without wear. The difference between a heavily circulated bicentennial quarter and a pristine, sharply detailed example can be dramatic in collector interest. Some bicentennial quarters have been discovered with striking anomalies such as missing mint marks, weak strikes, or unusual die polishing marks. These unusual features can attract collectors who specialize in varieties. When evaluating a bicentennial quarter, key things to look for include mint mark, silver content, errors, strike quality, and overall condition. Understanding these factors helps determine whether a coin is common or potentially valuable. The market for Drummer Boy quarters continues to stay active because of high demand and strong nostalgic appeal. People who grew up during the bicentennial era often seek these coins later in life, increasing collector interest. New collectors also enjoy them because they are accessible, historically meaningful, and offer the chance of discovering a valuable variety. The 1776 to 1976 Drummer Boy quarter stands as a symbol of American history, patriotism, and numismatic excitement. Whether you have one or many, searching for rare features and special varieties can be both enjoyable and rewarding. Keep checking your pocket change, your coin rolls, and your old collections. You never know when a rare and valuable bicentennial quarter may appear. Thank you for watching and listening to this long and informative video script. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more valuable and interesting coin videos. And stay tuned for more discoveries in the world of United States coins. Now we will explore the 1965 quarter is one of the most searched coins in the coin collecting hobby, and terms like 1965 quarter value, rare 1965 silver quarter, and 1965 quarter worth money are incredibly popular. Many people look at their coins and wonder if they have a rare 1965 quarter that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. What makes this coin fascinating is that it comes from a major transition year in US currency. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver, which meant that their intrinsic metal value was tied to the silver market. However, due to rising silver prices and widespread coin hoarding across the country, the US Mint faced a severe coin shortage. People began holding on to silver coins instead of spending them, and this caused a crisis in circulation. To solve the problem, the United States Mint introduced a new composition beginning in 1965. Instead of silver, quarters were now made using a clad composition, consisting of a copper core sandwiched between layers of copper-nickel alloy. This new material gave the quarter its modern appearance and feel, with a distinctive ring when dropped and a different weight compared to the older silver coins. Because of this transition, the 1965 quarter is historically important. It marks the very first year that the US quarter was produced without silver for regular circulation. Collectors often want to know how to identify a silver 1965 quarter, and this is where things become interesting. Officially, number 1965 quarters were supposed to be struck in silver. All silver planchets were intended to be used for 1964 dated coins only, even into early 1965 production. However, a few rare examples of 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover 90% silver planchets. These rare silver planchet errors make the 1965 quarter one of the most sought-after modern coins. If you happen to find a 1965 quarter that weighs around 6.25 grams instead of the standard clad weight of approximately 5.67 grams, you may have a silver transitional error coin that could be worth a significant amount of money. The rare silver 1965 quarter is considered a holy grail among modern coin collectors, and examples that have been authenticated are known to sell for thousands of dollars, depending on condition, rarity, and demand. Many collectors use simple tests such as weighing the coin, checking the edge for a copper-colored stripe, or listening to the sound when the coin is gently dropped on a hard surface. Silver coins produce a clearer, higher-pitched ring, while clad coins have a duller sound. While these methods are not absolute, they are common ways people attempt to determine whether they have a rare silver 1965 quarter. Another reason the 1965 quarter is so widely discussed is the presence of interesting and valuable mint errors. Some of the most desirable errors include off-center strikes, broad strikes, double dies, wrong planchet strikes, and coins with missing clad layers. A missing clad layer 1965 quarter, where one side shows exposed copper, can be worth far more than face value. Off-center errors where the design is significantly shifted can also bring strong collector interest, especially if the date remains visible. Double die errors, although less common in 1965 quarters compared to other years, can still attract attention from error collectors searching for unique varieties. The 1965 quarter does not carry a mint mark, which is another distinctive trait. During this period, mint marks were removed from coins in an effort to discourage hoarding and speculation. This means that regardless of where the coin was minted, whether in Philadelphia or Denver, no mint mark appears on the obverse of the coin. This adds another layer of intrigue, especially for newer collectors who wonder why their 1965 coin lacks a mint mark. When discussing 1965 quarter value, most circulated examples are still worth face value, since billions were produced and most remain common. However, collectors always look for condition, originality, sharp details, and attractive appearance. Uncirculated examples with strong luster and minimal marks can carry a premium. Coins that have been kept in excellent condition and show crisp details in George Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the coin's rim can bring increased collector interest. Another fascinating aspect of the 1965 quarter is the public reaction to the removal of silver. Many Americans at the time believed that the government was devaluing the currency, and rumors spread that silver coins would soon disappear from circulation permanently. As a result, people began hoarding silver quarters, half dollars, and dimes, making the coin shortage even worse. The introduction of clad coins helped stabilize circulation, but the controversy left a lasting impression on the public. Collectors today enjoy searching for 1965 quarters in coin rolls, pocket change, old coin jars, and inherited collections. Roll hunting for a rare 1965 quarter worth money has become a popular hobby, especially for those who hope to find a silver transitional error or a dramatic mint mistake. The excitement of possibly discovering a valuable coin keeps collectors engaged and adds an element of treasure hunting to everyday currency. The design of the 1965 quarter continued the Washington portrait first introduced in 1932. The obverse features George Washington facing left, with the word Liberty above and the date 1965 below. The phrase "In God We Trust" appears to the left of Washington's profile. The reverse displays an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches below, symbolizing both strength and peace. This classic design remained in use until the launch of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. Many people wonder how to tell whether their 1965 quarter is valuable. Key things to look for include weight, appearance, unusual coloration, striking abnormalities, and any signs of mint errors. If a coin appears thicker, heavier, or has an unusual edge, it may be worth investigating further. Transitional errors such as wrong metal planchet strikes are especially exciting because they were never intended to exist. The 1965 quarter continues to be an important and widely discussed coin for both new and experienced collectors. Its role in U.S. monetary history, its connection to the end of silver coinage, and the possibility of rare valuable errors make it a coin that people pay attention to. Searching for a rare 1965 silver quarter or a valuable 1965 era coin has become a common topic in coin collecting communities, and stories of lucky finds keep the excitement alive. If you are someone who enjoys coin collecting, roll hunting, or simply learning about US coins, the 1965 quarter offers an engaging and rewarding subject. You never know when you might come across a special example that could be worth far more than 25 cents. The idea that a coin from everyday circulation could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars inspires collectors and keeps interest strong in modern coinage.